All right, guys, now I want to talk to you a little bit about coaching. This is something that is very important because coaching and mentoring can take you from where you are now to where you want to be much, much faster. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about my story and kind of where I come from, and this will give you a better idea of what it's done for me. Well, first of all, I started this business in 2001, and I started it off of an infomercial, an educational product. I spent just a little bit of money ordering a course online, online wasn't even that popular at that point. I actually ordered it on TV and got it shipped to me, and ended up it's what got me started, right? Within a few months, I bought a couple properties. Within about a year, I'd bought 10 properties, and I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, honestly, I used my sure A-type personality, my will, my guts, just to jump in and really get into this business. And what I see looking back is that was just a little piece of what got me started. That's just a little piece of the education that I needed to start investing in real estate. What I didn't realize is that it wasn't, that course that I had bought wasn't nearly enough of what I needed to really get to the next level. It was about 8 or 9 years later, in 2009, 2010, that's when I really started asking for help, right? I'd gone through so many struggles. I went through so many things financially, with contractors, with all these different parts of the business, and I tried to figure it all on my own, right? I'd listened to courses and bought some things and went to some seminars and things like that. But really, there's nothing that gets you more than having a mentor or a coach. And that's when things really started changing for me back in about 2006, 2007. I met a guy, and he's a multi-millionaire, very wealthy businessman, and I learned a lot from him. He took my mentality from the 6-figure a year type mentality to 7-figure a year mentality, and now I have an 8-figure a year mentality, and that's kind of where I'm thinking from at this point. And he's one of those guys that you learn from him. Just being around him, just seeing what he does, you can tell that he's got a passion for what he does. You can tell he's got zest. You can tell he's got drive. You can tell he makes the right decisions. He's not perfect, but he makes those decisions that he knows he needs to make every single day and every week and every month to better himself and better his business. And I just kind of saw how he did things, and I saw the planes that he owned, and it just raised my vibration, just raised my level of thinking just by being around this guy. And for those of you who say, well, I don't know anybody like that, I guarantee you, if you go to a networking event, I guarantee you, if you ask a few people who they would know who are successful business people, that they could help you find someone to just meet with, to talk to, and just pick their brain, right, and have someone to bounce ideas off of. The next step to that is in 2010, I wanted to take my business to the next level. I was doing a lot of business. I was running with my head cut off still. I was stressed out, and I wanted to get to that next level. I wanted to systemize my business. I wanted to really get myself to, again, the next level. So I ended up investing in a coach. And for me at that time, at any time, it's a lot of money. It was pretty decent chunk of money. But I was learning from a company that I wanted to be like, right? They were flipping a lot of houses. They were doing great business. They were well respected. And it just took it to another level. My mentality, being around the organization that did the coaching program, being a part of their program, it raised my vibration, raised my mentality, and it was so valuable to be able to go to a coach that has done a lot of the things that I wanted to do, and say, hey, what would you do about this? What would you do about this situation, where would you go for additional properties, where, what's your hiring process? And to be able to have all of those systems, it was invaluable. And that's the reason that I created Real Estate Prodigy is, these things throughout my time in the business have helped me to get where I am now. And if it weren't for those systems, it weren't for those tools, if it weren't for the coaching, it weren't for the people that were, helping me in this business, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'd still be struggling. I'd still be stressed. I still wouldn't be at the level that I am now. And it's so nice to be able to say that, I was able to get that help and ask for that help and get it. So, again, that's the reason that I created Real Estate Prodigy. That's the reason that we have our coaching program. And if you're interested in additional coaching, we'd love to help you. Please do apply for our coaching program. But I'm telling you, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars in coaching. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in education and masterminds and things where I can get in front of people and I can learn and I can get answers, right away. And I can tell you that coaching is one of the biggest benefits that I've seen. To find a coach that has been there, done that, so that instead of having to reinvent the wheel, instead of having to bang my head against the wall to get answers, I can jump on a call with my coach and get the answers, right? And I still have coaches to this day. I've got coaches that help me in life. I've got coaches that help me in business. I've got coaches that help me in real estate. And for those of you that think, I'm too good for coaching or I don't need that, just think about it this way. Tiger Woods, I heard a statistic the other day. He has I want to say 10 or 12 or 13 coaches, something crazy. And you think a guy like Tiger Woods, he wouldn't need a coach, right? Well, there's people that when they look outside of what you're doing and they can analyze it, they're better to help you make those decisions, right? So Tiger Woods, he's swinging his golf club and he's for some reason he's hooking the ball. Well, a coach can look at it and go, you know what, your foot is just a little bit off. Just change where your foot is, and then boom, he's hitting the ball straight, right? And it's the same way with business, and the same with coaching. I do it all the time in my business with my employees, and I do it with a lot of other students. And to be able to be on the outside, it's kind of like when you're in a bad relationship, right? People say you shouldn't have been in that relationship, that there were so many signs out there and you didn't see them, but everyone else saw them, right? I've been there. And if you can have someone that's outside that's analyzing what you're doing and to be able to answer those questions for you and be able to guide you in the right direction and steer you or keep you on path, it's super valuable. In fact, one of the biggest benefits that I got from coaching was I made an extra $50,000. I went to my coach and I said, "Hey, I've got this deal. I just don't like it. Thinking about backing out. Here are the statistics on it. Here are the numbers, whatever." And so something I'd never thought of before, he goes, "Well, why don't you just go back to the seller and negotiate a $50,000 price reduction?" And I said, "You're crazy. That's not going to work. There's no way. They already told us that this was, the number they needed." And this house had foundation issues, sloping floors, and I knew they were motivated, but I thought they were solid on their number. So I went back to him. I said, "You know what? I had a structural engineer out here. Did exactly what my coach told me to do, and just like that, $50,000 price reduction." So instead of making $20,000 on this big rehab, I ended up making $70,000 on this rehab. Whereas without a coach, I would have either not done the deal and not made any money at all, or I would have done the deal and just made $20,000. And that investment in that coach, just in that one call right there in that one session, brought back many times in return. And it's the same thing with masterminds. I just bought into a mastermind a little while ago. It was a lot of money. Some of the most elite investors in the U.S., you have to apply to be a part of this or be referred or invited. And the first day, so there's 4 different masterminds throughout the year, and the first day of the first mastermind, it paid for itself 1.5 times over. One of the guys there was a very successful real estate investor. And he said, "Hey, I've got a program that you're looking for." He said, "I see what you're trying to do, and here's a program that I use, and actually I can customize it for you. I can put some bells and whistles on it. So instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars on this software, I was able to pay him a couple $1,000 to get it set up for me because he already had it, right? It's those types of people and those types of things that when you invest in it, those high level things, you get that much in return. So I hope that, whether you coach with us or whether you, coach with someone else or get a mentor, I hope that you take advantage of, some of the things that I've talked about today, and reaching out to people, whether it's someone you pay as a coach, whether it's a mentor, a business person that is doing what you want to do and at a level that you want to be at. Get that help, reach out, make sure that you're asking for help, because man, I spent so much time banging my head against the wall trying to figure out certain things in my business when really it was just a phone call away. So I hope that you take advantage of our coaching, other coaching, and just reaching out in general. You can't do it alone. So remember to lead by the 3 P's. Be positive, be present, and be passionate in every single thing that you do. Have a great day, guys.